Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of South Down Garage. On today's episode we're at the back of the Volkswagen. What could that mean? If you're like me and you have a very basic model Volkswagen Jetta Mark 6, you might not have a backup camera, and that's what I'm facing right now. I don't have a backup camera. So we need to install one. Now, one of the nice things about most of the products you can get, I got this off Amazon. It is not to hook up to your factory system. So I will repeat that again. This is not to hook up to your factory system. However, if you have an aftermarket setup like I do, then this is exactly what you would want for your car. It allows you to basically hook up this system with your deck. I'll start with removing the plastic cover to access the latch behind it. To get this out, you're going to have to get creative. There is a tab that you will have to push up on the trunk latch connector to get it unplugged. All these tabs here you'll have to work out to get this out. You may want to hold on to the factory one, or you can sell it on eBay. We have two latches. This is the new one going in. This is the factory one. Fish the new wiring through before installing the new latch and camera. Hook up the trunk latch connector and see if the button will work. Now that you've confirmed that it works, you can put the backing plate on and then run the wires through the trunk behind the plastic cover so that it looks factory. So ignition is on. We've plugged into the gray-black wire and the blue wire, and we're showing 0. Now let's go back to the car with the ignition on, of course. We're gonna put our foot on the brake, put it into reverse, and we're going to check that same reading. That's a reading 11.43 volts. So that's telling us that this is our ground and power wire that we need to connect to in order to get the backup system working. Okay, so we've sort of got this hooked up here, just laying around. We just want to run the wires first and all that stuff. But to get this wire, so we want to like keep everything tidy. So we're going to go run through that hole there. But we needed to fish another wire through to be able to do this. So all I did is I grabbed a spool of wire and ran it through the seat belt cutout. And now we can just try to pull this through. This was fun. I had to fish this wire back through here and use a little hook to get in here and pull this wire down. So now we can run this wire on the inside here so it's all tucked out of the way, and we're going to pull it so it's basically got no room left. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this seat out next so that we can get to the center console. I know a lot of people will run the wires through here. However, we have a positive cable doing that. It's got hot. Nice. We've got a positive cable running through there, so any video feed and stuff like that can get interference from that wire, so we're just going to run it differently. But feel free if you want to run it along here. It might be a little bit quicker. However, I like to put myself through a lot of pain. Okay, so I just want to show you sort of what's happened here. Basically, I've run the wires through here, as you saw before. Ran them through here under the mat. Oops. Anyways, gonna put this mat back. Same with the other side. Yeah, the wires just basically run in front here, across under here, and it's not bolted back in, which I'm going to start doing now. So everything's sort of back in here, and then we could start putting the whole interior back together. I won't show you this part, and then got to make sure that none of my wires are in the way, and then we can put the seat back in once everything is done, once the carpet's back in, and at least it's nice and hidden, can't see it, so I'm happy with that. I think it's somewhat professional. We have all the wiring running here. So this is our camera for our reverse camera, as you can see here, rear view camera. And then on the wiring diagram for the Alpine, the orange white is what you connect to that cable here, to this one, and then we should get reverse. Now the next thing we have to do is connect our other wires up and then test all that. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get to it. We're gonna turn this thing on, allow this thing to fire up. We're gonna wait for the copyright infringement to go away. Let's put it in the reverse, see what happens. Nothing. Oh, actually I wonder if I have to turn the camera on in here. General, installation, reverse. Huh. Okay, so I've got to figure out some way to power up that puppy. All right, so that didn't work. I did have to connect these two wires together. So this is part of the wires that come up here. And I connected the red to the blue here for the reverse light, which we tested, as you saw. The gray black is our ground. This right here is going to go inside the trunk. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tie this all up, strap all this together so it doesn't look so hokey. We'll slide it back in, connect all these wires together up back here. Then we will be done. Now that we've got that other wire hooked up. General, installation, reverse, on, off, on, camera, select, rear. Okay, saving. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so now it works. Okay, so now that we've got everything in here, we've got the wiring done. The next step we have to do is we have to take a look at the screen, because this camera and the Alpine screen have backup lines. So next thing is to take a look and see which one is better. The lines on the camera for the backup system of the Alpine can be shut off, same as the backup lines for this camera. So I'll quickly show you how to do that. First, we have to take, in order to shut this camera off, or the camera lines off, we have to get into the trunk again. So we'll go ahead and open it up. Well, that opens so much nicer with this new switch. Open this up, take the wiring back out again, and then we need to flick it from backup camera to 12 volt camera. In order to change it on the dash itself, we'll go into settings, we'll go to camera, we'll go down to backup lines, and we'll turn them off. We'll see which one is better, and then we'll go with that. After we've determined that, we can go ahead and put the rear seat back in, and we can go ahead and put that rear liner in the trunk. With this connected to those two wires, this is what will happen. So you put it in reverse, and it'll show the top of the tent because the trunk is open. But then I go over here, I flip the lights on, headlights are on, and I go back and I do the same thing where I put in reverse, and oh no, blue screen, which means one thing. That wire I checked, it was showing ground because there was nothing switched to it, so the actual ground is the middle brown wire, which I'll show you right now, which we're gonna disconnect the gray black wire and connect to the brown wire, and that will fix this issue. So if you're doing the same thing, I followed somebody else's directions, don't do that. We've tested both of these. We found out that this is actually a power wire when the lights are turned on. This is your actual ground. So all we did was connected this wire, this brown black wire, and this red wire. And when we tested it with both the lights off and the lights on, we didn't have any interruption with the camera. So now it's fixed. When you're doing this at home, make sure you have a multimeter to do all this testing yourself. Because if you test this wire, you hook it all up, put everything back together, and you don't have time to fix it, well, then you don't have a camera at night, which chances are is when you're going to be using it the most. Save yourself the trouble. Do a little bit of double checking first. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure all these wires. I'm going to wrap this all up, make it all nice. And then we can put the cover back on and we will call this done. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Meltdown Garage. If you like this episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because you're going to want to see the next video. I promise you, it's going to be pounding. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and take a look at this video if it's out. Take care. See you next time. Bye for now. So let's get into it. Just kidding. Okay. Ta-da!